Welcome and thank you very much once again for being here with me in this journey. If you're watching this video in this course, I literally want to stand up and give you a standing ovation because you are putting a lot of effort. I know that, and I'm really proud of you that I got you as my student. So, in this class, as you know, we are going to redo Robert Frost's poem Home Burial, and I'm sure you must have studied this poem, and this is one of the very touching poems. So I have divided the class into five parts. First part, we'll just give a brief introduction to Robert Frost, then introduction to the poem, the setting of the poem, summary, and the speakers. So Robert Frost, he needs no introduction. We know that he is the most celebrated poet of American literature, and he was raised in New England. And it was Ezra Pound who helped him to establish him as a poet. And this poem was published around, not in 1914. At that time, he was establishing as a poet. He had only published two volumes. Am I going too fast in this class? I'm sorry. And as you know, his poems, which are very traditional, thematically innovative, focused on ordinary people. That is what makes him special. And also known for his psychological complexity, irony, exploring human experience. I'm telling you this because, in case if they ask you as a statement question, we must know the basic about him. And he is the only poet in America to won the coveted Pulitzer Prize, the highest literary prize, 4 times. And he has also delivered a poem at JFK's inauguration, and he was also called as a poet laureate of Vermont. So this is the basic thing we must know about him. Then the poem, I know you know it. It is my duty to remind you. As I told you already, it was published in 1914, the year First World War started. It is one of his longest poems, and it is written in blank verse, and it's a narrative poem. Okay, and as you know, it's mostly in dialogue form, and it centers on miscommunication. There's a central theme of the poem. You know that, and there are three characters. There was a question asked for HSA English, and husband, wife, and narrator, and it was my wife who told me that question came. I thank her, and as you know, they lost a child recently, and it has been buried, and how they cope up with the grief mechanism husband, that is one of the central theme. And there is a lack of what you may call understanding and respect for each other's mourning process. And there is also a double meaning of the title. One is the grave of the couple's son, home burial, and second one, the likely death of their marriage and love. So these things we must know. Then the setting is very important. As you know, it is set in husband's house, because he calls it, as you know, climbs up the stairs and looks at the this burial ground, graveyard, sorry, and says it's one of our people. So there is a family graveyard in the property, you know that, and it's there is an action, it's a play-like action happening. And as you know, most of the action happens in the stairs. The stairs, the stage is set, movement in the stairs. And this other part also mentioned in the poem. If they ask their kitchen, entry, and darkened parlor, and the house, it feels like claustrophobic and filled with grief. And it's set in early 20th century. And actually, when the wife skirt reference clearly shows that. Old fashioned, and the voice also hint at early historical setting, that is the early part of 20th century. It is certainly takes place in New England. And now we come to the summary. Remember, there is not broken into stanzas, but for our convenience I have divided into 6 sections. It's purely for our convenience. As you know, first is a setting, and as the wife is standing at the top of the stairs, the husband is standing at the lower part of the stairs, and wife is staring outside the window to the graveyard. And as you know, she is consumed by grief. Her husband asks, "What are you looking at?" But as you know, in the second part, she is not ready to reveal that. But the husband goes up and says, "I know what you're looking at," and her response is very cold. Okay, suddenly her face turns to dull. You must have read the poem. And the third part, the husband tries to comfort the wife, and but the wife accuses him, saying that I have seen you, how you dug the grave. And the stoic nature of the husband, it cannot be accepted by the wife. And but the husband defends himself that can't a man speak of his own grief, can't a man tell about his own baby's death, child's death. I just forgot the exact line, but please pick it up from the poem. Then he says, I also have feelings, but I don't express it the way you do. And the fourth part, it continues. They convince each other. They are actually husband tries to convince that they are both grieving in their own ways, and She tries to go. So he says, don't go to this time to anybody. Let's communicate openly. But she's not ready to do that. And they ask speaking emotionally, telling actually he wants her to be with him, but the wife feels that the husband can never understand because she's emotional, she's sentimental. The husband is stoic. The purely that farmer nature is revealed through the character of the husband, and moreover, the emotional disturbance makes the wife feel that they cannot live forever. And remember, the name of the wife is Amy. And the poem, as you know, concludes with the wife saying that I will leave. I'm leaving, but the husband desperately trying to stop her. And she's at the end, there is a powerful that I will bring you back. So there is what do we call a threat of use of force. And speakers, as you know, it's a dialogue between husband and wife Amy, and there is a husband's name is unnamed, and there is a third person narrator, and you can see he's intruding in line 15, 70, and towards the end he doesn't say certain intrusion, and he is the one who pays close attention to her body language and tone, and he provides the insight into their characters and thought. So I know certainly you must have read this poem. If you haven't read, I request you to read it. It's available online. It takes 5 minutes to read. So if they ask a question from a line or something, so that you can easily pick it up. So that is what I think the basic thing this we must know about home burial. So thank you very much for watching, and do the MCQs, and I'll see you in the next class. Until then, take care. Bye bye.